Okay, let's go ahead and start your homework on this. So step 1, we're going to isolate the radical, subtract 2 units. So I have the square root of 4x plus 3 is equal to 3. Now how do I get rid of the square root? You square that to give you 4x plus 3 is equal to 9. Subtract the 3. 4x is equal to 6. Divide by 4. X is equal to 6/4, which is, divide them both by 2, 3/2. Okay? So how do I know that I'm right? Well, I go ahead and I plug this in. 4 times 3/2 plus 3 plus 2 has to equal 5. So that's going to give you a 4 divided by 2 is 2, times 3 is 6, plus 3 is going to be 9. Square root of 9 is 3, plus 2 gives me a 5, so 5 is equal to 5, and you are right. You can type this in your calculator exactly the way you see that, and it'll give you a true or false. So yes, that is my answer. Next, here's my radical. It is isolated already, so how do I get rid of the square root symbol? I'm going to square both sides. So that means I have x plus 2 is equal to x minus 18 quantity squared. Well, whenever I have something squared, that means there's 2 of them. So I'm going to write this down twice. And I'm going to FOIL. X squared minus 18x minus 18x. And then come over here and take 18 times 18. And that's going to give you 324. So I'm going to have x plus 2 is equal to x squared minus 36x plus 324. Make this thing set equal to 0, subtract the x, subtract the 2. 0 is equal to an x squared minus a 37x plus a 322. So we need to go ahead and factor this into 2 binomials. How do I split up x? That's going to be x and x. I need to have a positive, so that's either plus plus or minus minus. They are going to be minus minus, and then I'm going to come over to my factor finder, okay, and I'm going to put 322 in there. And I want to know which ones of those are going to give me the value negative 37. So negative 37 is going to come up by doing, the signs have to be the same, 14 and 23. So 14 and 23 is what we're going to be utilizing. So I'm going to have 14 and 23 here. So x minus 14 is equal to 0 and x minus 23 is equal to 0. So x is equal to 14 and x is equal to 23. Now remember, we're not done because what we need to do is check for extraneous solutions. So how do I go about that? I'm going to pull up my calculator and I'm going to type in there the parenthesis. My answer was going to be negative 14 and it was going to be plus 2. And that was actually the square root of that, so sorry about that. Square root of negative 14 plus 2. And then come down here, and that is going to be equal to x minus 18. So that's going to be negative 14 minus 18. And hit enter. It says non-real calculation, which means it's not a real solution, which means this one right here, and I put a negative 14, and I need to put in positive, so sorry. That's a problem. I need to go back and fix that. So this is going to be equal to 14 minus 18. And it says false, okay? So I know this one is not going to work, so that's a no. So now I need to check the 23. So I come back over here. I'm going to arrow up and I'm going to grab this. This 14 is going to turn into a 23. And hit enter, and that one is true, which means the only one that is going to be my answer is simply going to be 23. Number 9, I have a square root on 2 different sides, and that's okay if they're equal to each other. So what we're going to do is ask, how do I get rid of a square root? You are going to square both sides. So if I square both sides, I'm going to get 7x minus 1 is equal to a 5x plus 5. Solve for x at this point by subtracting 5x. 2x minus 1 is equal to 5. Add the 1. 2x is equal to 6, divide by 2, and x is equal to 3. So we're not done though, because we need to go ahead and check this. So if I check this, I'm going to have the square root of 7 times, can't even remember it already, 3 minus 1 equals the square root of 5x plus 5. And hit enter, and that says true, which means this is an answer and that is okay. Okay, so that is worksheet 1. Now I'm going to keep on going. I'm going to do worksheet 2 with you as well. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to isolate this. So that means I'm going to add 2 over. I'm going to square both sides. So I have x minus 3x is equal to 4. Subtract the 6. Negative 3x is equal to negative 2. Divide by negative 3, and x is equal to 2/3. Okay? So we're plugging in 2/3 for x. So this is the square root of 6 minus 3 times 2 divided by 3. And that has to minus 2. And that has to equal 0. And hit enter, and that is true. So therefore, that means this is a viable answer, and we're good to go. Next, I need to isolate this. So I'm going to add 8 to both sides. Square root of 1 minus 4x is equal to a 2. I like that this is positive. My brain is checking to see if it's possible. So it is possible, so I'm going to square both sides. So I have 1 minus 4x is equal to 4. Subtract the 1, and you have negative 4x is equal to 3. Divide by negative 4, and you have x is equal to negative 3/4. So now we need to check this. Okay, so if we're checking this against number 5, x is negative 3/4. So this is going to be the square root of 1 minus 4 times negative 3/4 minus 8 is equal to negative 6. And hit enter, and that says that it's true. So therefore, this answer is correct, and we are good to go. Okay, that brings us to number 8. I have 2 radicals, and they're set equal to each other. So the way to get rid of them is you're going to square both sides. So 9x minus 4 is equal to 7x minus 20. Subtract the smaller x over. So I have a 2x minus a 4 is equal to negative 20. Add the 4. 2x is equal to negative 16. Divide by 2, and x is equal to negative 8. So now that x is equal to negative 8, we're going to go ahead and come back over here to our calculator. And you are going to plug and chug, checking to make sure that what you did was accurate. So this is the square root of 9 times our answer that we got was negative 8. Minus 4 is equal to the square root of 7 times negative 8 minus 20. And that says not a real calculation, so therefore it's false. So that means, let's make sure that I did get the right answer, negative 8. 9 times negative 8 minus 4, 7 times negative 8 minus 20. Not a real calculation, so that means that this right here is not an answer, so there is no solution. Last one here, I'm going to go ahead and isolate this, so that means I'm going to go ahead and add the 5 to both sides. So x plus 5 is equal to the square root of x plus 7. To get rid of that, you're going to square both sides. I'm going to write this down twice. Power and root cancel out there to give you x plus 7. I'm going to FOIL x squared plus 5x plus 5x plus 25 is equal to x plus 7. I'm going to combine like terms. X squared plus 10x plus 25 is equal to x plus 7. I'm going to subtract x and subtract 7. So x squared plus 9x plus 25 take away 7 is going to be 18, and that equals 0. So I'm going to put this into 2 binomials. x plus 6 and 3 is what you're going to use. So x is equal to negative 6 and x is equal to negative 3. So now I have to figure out if that is even possible. So I come over here and I'm going to plug that in. So the answers I had was negative 6 and negative 3. So negative 6 equals the square root of negative 6 plus 7, arrow to the right, minus 5, and hit enter. That is a false one, so therefore this is a no. Negative 6 does not work, so now let's go ahead and try the negative 3. Negative 3 is equal to the square root of negative 3 plus 7 minus 5, and hit enter, and that one says true. So therefore, yes, this is the answer, and we are done. Those are worksheets 1 and 2 for section 6.5.